Hi, Werner here. So I have a job to do for vet assessment, Cambelt and cam seals or lip seals replacement or remove and refit. However, you cannot really remove a lip seal and refit it properly without it leaking. So I do have a client's vehicle in that's got a bit of an oil leak coming from the seals. So they haven't given me go ahead on a new timing belt, but they have given me go ahead on new seals, which I got today. I will shortly show you. Yes, so what we're going to do here is on this little tracks, remove the seals. I just want to show you here underneath we've got a bit of an oil leak right here, so that's been traced back to the seals leaking, running down the back of the covers, down the front of the timing cover, and then to the undercarriage of the vehicle. So I will be removing basic parts like air filter box over here, timing cover, tappet cover, just to make sure that once we do turn the engine to the correct marks and all of that, that I can actually grab onto the cams when loosening the front pulleys. Yeah, so I'm gonna start doing all of that. I just want to show you the parts and the tools that we'll be needing. So here's the tools. I've already packed them out nicely so you can see. And over here I've got the new seals. So this is basically the only tools we're going to really need for the job. Assortment of sockets, different sizes, some e-sockets, and then a rattle gun. I'm also going to use a little jack stand and a rubber block just to support the engine once I loosen the engine mounting. Yeah, so let me give it a go and show you what needs to be done. Okay, so I've been experiencing some technical difficulty with my camera. So I have gone ahead and taken off the tensioner. To show you, remove the little tensioner just to gain access to some of the bolts on the timing cover at the front. Unfortunately, this blocks it a little bit. So I have gone ahead and taken that off. Just want to grab a set of gloves there. So sorry about that. Okay. The main thing here will be kind of just to get the crank pulley turned so that we get the crank mark and timing marks at the top together. Not too far from my actual marks. I'm just going to lower the vehicle a little bit. So sorry if my head is in the way, but I'm going to just quickly try and get this on its mark for you. Okay, so got the multi-V belt off. Sorry, I got a tear in my glove, so just putting a set on that's actually working. So crank pulley removed, timing tensioner or V-belt tensioner removed, crank pulley removed. Engine has been turned to the correct marks as per specification. Crank mark, PDC, and the two cam marks showing towards each other. It's a fairly simple little engine, so it's not too complicated. So I'm going to keep quiet now and carry on stripping it so that I can show you what the go is. You can also use an engine brace that you can throw over the top, but unfortunately this vehicle's lips on the side are very soft, so I'm going for the little jack stand with a rubber block under the sump, rather, because I don't want to damage the gentleman's vehicle. So there are other options, but for this exercise, the jack stand's unfortunately the only way to go. I'm going to go ahead now, removing the side engine mounting. I normally just give them a loosen the hand first before I use a rattle gun. It just lessens the amount of stress on the bolts and obviously the tools. Loose, you can safely remove that. And place it one side. I try and strip my stuff nicely and pack it all in order. Will just make it a lot easier when I reassemble to get everything back. Also, sometimes when you're doing a job like this, advisable to replace the multi V-belt. This one's still in good nick, so we're gonna reuse this one. It's not in a too bad condition. You can normally see when they start giving crack marks or start fraying away that they need to be replaced, but this one is still in perfect working order. Just removing the support bracket that actually goes over the timing cover, which the mounting bolts down to. Okay, so it's assembly time. I've gone ahead and I've already prepared all my parts, cleaned everything, put my tools together so that everything is nicely in order. I've already gone and put my timing marks on their spots. I've already put my cam locking tool in its place, and I've already gone and put my crank on its mark. We are using the manufacturing specifications, which helps because all the torque settings are on there, all the timing marks so that you can recheck yourself are on there, and it's actually a fairly simple procedure from here on forward. I'm going to go ahead and refit my seals. All my old seals have been removed, so we're going to throw them in the bin. And I've gone ahead and I've added some red rubber grease to all my seals inside so that the operation, once they're fitted and the pulleys are running on them, is nice and smooth. I'm using a Penrite red rubber grease. So first of all, we're going to use to get our seals in place. Most of the times you are lucky and you can squeeze them in by finger to pretty much where they need to be. prefer squeezing them in as far as possible with my fingers so that I don't damage my seals in any way. You can also tap them in if you have a proper tool for that, but luckily I've got a nice strong set of fingers, so I'm lucky that I can normally squeeze my seals in without damaging them. And the front part of the seal actually has a bit of a steel metal plate on the inside, so as soon as you damage that, you end up causing a bit of a unevenness in the sealing portion of the seal. So once my seal is nice and flush and I'm happy with that, you do get an applicator, a seal applicator that you can use, or you can just take a same size socket and give it a nice little tap. That should also get your seal nicely in place if you want to do that. I prefer not doing that because I can squeeze them in with my hand. Once we've done that, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna fit the one at the bottom on the crank. This one isn't as easy to fit because the seal is a lot smaller. So I will be just gently tapping it into place. Then like I say, you always tap, if you're tapping it in, making sure that you are on the center portion of the seal so that you don't push it in skin and damage the seal at the end of the day. So once my seal is nice and flush, I'm gonna go ahead and put in the bottom section of the rear pulley, which the belt actually runs on. Once that's in place, just for time being, place my nut, my bolt inside so that the pulley can't fall off. Just tighten that up a little bit. Once we've done that, we'll just double check our mark. Our mark is aligning with the mark on the bottom. Also our marks at the top can't move, as we have put our plate in. Our plate is there just to align, make sure that the cams are exactly where they need to be. At this stage, I'm going to go ahead refitting the one section of the cover.